What's up, man? There was no intro because this is literally going to be the show about nothing. There was nothing to introduce. This is just two guys. Hey, yo, you want to do a podcast? Like, hell yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Literally just walked in the door. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, 14 hours. Excuse me, 15 hours at work today. I just walked in the door. My man State about to do a double himself, man. So.
I think I might talk myself out of it. I really don't want to stay. I already did a lot of OT. I really don't want to stay. It depends, though. It depends. But what's up, man? What's up, dog?
Yeah, other than that nonsense, man, I'm doing pretty good, bro.
That's good, man.
Yeah, the scrubs look good today, man. I see a little bit of sweat today, a little bit of sweat in the brow.
Yeah, it's crazy not to go with the rails, but like for some reason, you know how like what basically happened in my department is like what basically happened to the Knicks. So basically, Steve Mills got fired. And this like I'm compared to my department. Steve Mills got fired. Leon Rose comes in, changes the dynamic. Now work is just easy. That's basically what happened.
That happens sometimes, man, with administrators. People think they know everything. They think they need to lead a certain way. They got everybody running around and whatever. But then somebody comes in there, and it could be good or bad. But in your case, they come in and everything just goes into place the way it should have been to begin with. My department is the same way. We had like a tyrant, like this little guy, freaking short man complex and stuff like that.
Now?
Everything. Before, he was just like micromanaging and like taking away stuff that we had before or changing the wheel. Excuse me. And then now he's gone and none of that shit matters anymore. Everything is just back to the way it was before he got here. So what was all the drama for,
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the way how some people work, bro. Like some people just work that way. I don't that's just in them. That's just them.
Yeah, man. You gotta understand respect. You can't force people to respect you. Nobody. That's never happened. The only way that you can get to do that to somebody is if you kill somebody. Kill the person standing next to me, and I'll respect you all day long. You don't have to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just to the negativity and all that other stuff. To try to put fear in people. To do their job. That's not the right way to go about it.
Nah, man, it's stupid, man. That make people don't even like you. That make people not want to do the job. if you want to be technical, I don't want to do no damn work for you. You on my back.
Yeah, because you mentioned like basketball. Because I mean, it's a job. The Knicks, basketball and all this other stuff. They're playing for a team. A lot of it is really a job for some of these guys. They just in it for the paycheck. Not. They're not diehards like us. Some players are diehards. They really come out there. They want to play. They want to win every single time. But, I'm quite sure there's plenty of players out there that's like, nah, man, fuck that. I'm trying to get me a Lamborghini, you know what I'm saying, for every house that I got, that I bought across the world and stuff. So, I'm quite sure there's the same way. Like, if the management are a bunch of assholes, then the players are going to be like, well, fuck it. I ain't playing hard, And
it's funny. Shout out to David C. You're definitely right, bro. You're definitely right. So, like, going from David Fizdale to Tom Thibodeau is like a drastic change in like culture. So that's a prime example.
Yeah, well, fucking Hornacek.
Oh.
Yo, dude, they literally said Hornacek after practice was in the Uber and he was gone. You know what I'm saying? There was no office hours and nothing. As soon as practice was over, he was out the door before the last ball. The last dribble. He was gone already. He didn't talk to the players. A lot of times he didn't see them until the game, stuff like that. So when things are like that, man, you can't. That's not a good environment to succeed at anything.
Oh yeah, that's why he played Jared Jack over Frank.
Shout out to Jared Jack. Didn't he win? He just won a Big 3 championship, right?
Oh, this guy say Big 3 championship, man. I mean, I'm still mad at Jeff Hornacek for that, man. I'll be honest with you.
Have you caught the Big 3 though? You ever watched it?
Nah, I watched the first season because it was interesting, and then I haven't had a chance to like get around it. because right after basketball season, it's like my mind is just gone from the whole ESPN thing, like, and then turns back on in August because of football
Right.
season with my Giants. So I try to like
What
avoid it.
Well, Big Three is starting to change a little bit because before it was just about like older players that are coming back to play and stuff, but now they're starting to incorporate international guys and guys that usually well not usually like 90% are like are ex pros that went over there and came now they came over. Now they have guys at different age groups, guys that are still in their primes coming to the Big Three and playing. So it's decent, man, because they're playing half court. So it's not like you don't have to worry about setting up a full court offense and stuff. They kind of they have this. It's like a funny way of playing. It's kind of just like playing in the park,
Mhm.
And then, also like the Olympics opened up the 3-on-3 stuff too. So it kind of is making it interesting a little bit. It's kind of something to play for.
Your 3-on-3 is competitive, bro.
Yeah.
Competitive because you're not running all the way across the court. You can guard your man. 3-on-3 is very competitive. And speaking of like random basketball stuff, so I see that Kurt Halen, my fault, brother, if I butchered your name, but the NBA is exploring a Field of Dreams style game, right? So I'm guessing like baseball had a baseball game inside of a field, a cornfield, and whatever the case may be. I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I watch a
It
lot
was
of basketball.
cute. You didn't see it? You didn't see like highlights of that?
I did, but I was wondering like what the hell was the meaning behind that?
Well, you ever seen Field of Dreams though with Kevin Costner?
Hell no.
Well, you know, without sounding like a total asshole, man. Like the movie was corny, but it was cute, whatever. So they tried to reenact it. Kevin Costner came out there, he was reenacting that character and whatever. It was like kind of like a little bit over dramatic and everything. So they actually had the players coming out the cornfield, just like because in the movie, like he built like the stadium and like they're whispering like if you build it, they will come type of thing. So it was like all this mystic stuff. So once he did build, the gist of it, once he did build this big elaborate stadium, then these players came and then it was like a feel good movie kind of thing. So they kind of reenacted it. So it was kind of interesting. But I mean, how would they do that in basketball? Because they're talking about Rucker Park. I don't know about that.
So, all right. So first of all, concrete hurt. And there's no way in hell I want RJ Barrett on some fucking concrete. Let's start there.
Tell me about it.
That's millions of dollars on concrete. But I think I think they would put a foundation on the floor.
Yeah.
And like a foundation suitable for basketball. Because you can't play on concrete, bro. The way Julius Randle plays specifically, I damn sure don't want him on no concrete. He is too aggressive going to the paint. Hell no.
Yeah, of course, man. But there is a way to build they can kind of stack it up. The same way that they build the garden floor right on top of the ice.
Mhm.
They could basically reenact the same type of thing. They put down like a little padding, and then they'll throw that top, right over top. So then the players will really be playing on top of the court, kind of. So they can kind of reenact it, I guess. But I'm talking about like the way Rucker Park is situated. It's not really. They're gonna have to shut down the whole block.
Nah, they're gonna shut down the neighborhood. They'll shut down the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They'll have cop cars, SWAT policemen,
helicopters, all kind of shit. Yeah, I get it. Snipers on the roof, all that.
Because let's say, for example, the Nets and the Knicks play in Rucker Park. Let's just throw an example around. Yeah, shut down the city because it's kids in the projects who's around that area. Rucker Park is around Polo Grounds, 155th and 8th. So there's like little kids in that area who idolize like Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie and all those guys. I don't know who they idolize from the Knicks because I don't know what little kids like really love Julius Randle and love RJ, but I know they love the team. But it's little kids who really want to see Kevin Durant and see those guys play. So it would be the NBA is going to want to protect their product as well. So they're going to be out there with police dogs and everything. But it ain't like Kevin Durant didn't play out there because I watched him myself in the Rucker score 66. And he was damn good.
Yo, he was out. He was actually going to the corner stores buying food and stuff. They had pictures of videotaping him standing at the counter on his phone with the headphones on, waiting to get a chopped cheese in the store. On the way to the court. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible to do it that way. But like if they want to do it with all the corporate, because they gotta have like the media there, media boxes, and all this other stuff. They're gonna have to probably have like an extravagant stuff to happen before and after. So I mean, to shut down a whole neighborhood like that, to me, that's not really like a Field of Dreams type of thing. Because like the Field of Dreams, it kind of in a baseball field, you can't just build a baseball field anywhere. Like they actually had a spot where they had it, and it looked, it was decent. But for like basketball in that setting, in like a setting like New York, I think something like that will work. Not at Rucker. It would have to be a different spot.
So what's more iconic than Rucker? A basketball court in New York. They gotta play in the Rucker, dog. Dr. J played in the Rucker. Kobe Bean Bryant played. Nah, they gotta play in the Rucker, bro. They can't have that game nowhere else. Kobe Bryant touched 155th and 8th. They gotta play in the Rucker.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. But there was a time where it was like really crazy, where Jay-Z had a team, Fat Joe had a team. They always talk about that day where it rained, where all these players were supposed to come had played that day, but some of them were stuck in the bus. They didn't want to come out. It was all this drama and stuff. But they actually eventually did play. But I was gonna go to that game, but it was gonna rain. So like the game didn't happen the way it was supposed to. So it's just like if you look at footage of it, they had it was just like the hoopla. It was just too much drama surrounding the whole event. So I mean, I'm just, and also too, like being in New York City, like people always filming something. So like if they shut down a neighborhood to film, that's like the most annoying thing in the world, man. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
And just to see it happen to those people over there, because outside of Rucker Park, nobody gives a damn about that area.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Except the people who live over there. Yep.
Right. So I mean, like if they were to do like a Field of Dreams type of thing, they would have to do something more for that neighborhood. Not just come there and mess up inconvenience everybody's day. They're gonna have to rebuild the park or give back to the school or give infrastructure to the surrounding neighborhoods. They're gonna have to do something to make it worthwhile to the neighborhood, not just just make a mockery of the history of that neighborhood.
Yo, that's dope what you just said. So I get what you're saying, because it's always, so I'm gonna speak from the perspective of somebody who lived in the projects before. So I'm gonna just think like the hood. Like I'm gonna think like the hood. Like, how y'all gonna let these $1 million companies come over here, have all these basketball players? Adi, I'm good on Dykeman. I'm good on that. They gotta play that game in Rucker, bro. I'm good on Dykeman, bro.
Yeah, Dykeman's even worse. Like if you ever been to Dykeman, it's like a almost like a what do you call it? Like it looks like an island. So on both sides, traffic underneath the one line, and on the other side too.
Yep.
Yeah, that freaking gas station is there, where all the cars sitting there. There's too much stuff going on over there that you can't. And then it's gonna shut down the FDR because the little exit coming into Dykeman over there, that's gonna be crazy. The other side is gonna be crazy. I don't know. That's New York, man. You would literally have to shut down an entire neighborhood just to make this game happen.
Nah, you really would. But so you wouldn't think the NBA wouldn't see. I don't believe in that give money to charity thing, because that money ain't affecting that community directly. Let's be honest. Example, and I don't want us to dig too deep into this, but I've donated to Black Lives Matter, right? Where the hell the money is going? I've seen actors donate there. Where the hell is the money going? I've seen actors donate to various charities, various companies. We don't know where the money is going. And let's be realistic, that shit don't affect me. So I'm just thinking like somebody who's in the hood. That shit, they don't care about that. What can you do to help this neighborhood be better? So now, I think a way that the NBA could I think they need to give out free stuff. Yeah, I think it would be nice. Free book bags, books, food. I just give back to the community.
Well, giving back in that way, when they give swag and all that stuff, that to me is annoying too. They'll come through with their t-shirts. Hey man, here's a free t-shirt, and then they'll freaking be out.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that, like, for years these NBA players are coming in with the Entertainers Basketball Classic. Kobe comes through once in a while. Durant comes through once in a while. What the NBA needs to do, since Rucker Park is always the first park in New York City to be mentioned, that the NBA needs to put a fixture in that neighborhood. They need to put a stamp in that neighborhood. Claim Rucker Park as part of pro sports history, and actually put something in there. Not just come when you feel like it and just rape the neighborhood, basically. Come there and actually, have official NBA clinics, because they can go to Africa. So they can go to Africa, they can go all over Europe, they can go all over China and everywhere. They can go all over the world and set up all these big camps on dirt roads, countries that having wars and shit like that. But you can't go uptown to 155th and actually put a permanent camp there at Rucker Park and make it to the point where people from all over the city will go to Rucker Park and actually get a full on basketball experience. From the NBA, from the pinnacle.
So I believe the junior Knicks, they sometimes play. No, they don't sometimes play. They rarely play in the Rucker Park. They do be there, but it's rare.
Yeah.
So, man, that's nice. I'm trying to think of a way where the NBA can really incorporate this, because, man, just like I said, Diehard, there's people that live in the hood that don't give a damn about really the basketball game. It's about, what can I get for free? How can you help me and my family? So setting up like a nice camp in Rucker Park would be nice. But here's the question I got for you, right? Is, do you think the people in the area will want that? Because now I'm thinking like just people from the neighborhood. I'm just thinking like the hood dudes. Yo, man, they blowing my man. They messing up flow. They blowing my man. It's too loud. I'm trying to sleep. So it's like, how can they go about that to remodel the whole? You saying they would have to remodel Rucker Park? Like, you would want them to remodel it?
Well, not necessarily remodel it. They would have to like just give back to the community in such a way that they have a permanent implant on that community. So like you hit the nail on the head with that too. How do you go about doing that? You don't just come in there and just say, all right, hey, look, this is what we're gonna do for y'all. We're gonna do this for y'all, and this is what we do. Like, not everybody's gonna be down with that. They kind of need to. I want to say, like, maybe have like a festival kind of thing, community town hall. Ask people what they want. Get the community leaders involved. Get the block association, all that type of stuff. They really need to do grassroots roots work to talk to the leaders in the neighborhood and figure out what this neighborhood needs, and they really help the neighborhood out. Don't just come and pillage, whenever it is convenient for you, just because it's not a game. People live there. Rucker Park, basketball and such, but the people live there. They got a what do you call, WIC Center right across the street. There's a lot of stuff going on in that area that the area needs help. The area been needing help for as long as I can remember, even dating back to like you said, Dr. J days and stuff like that, with the drugs and all this other stuff. That there's a lot of the neighborhood needs a lot still to this day. So just for the basketball stuff, everybody knows about Rucker, but they really need to do something about it if they choose to pillage the neighborhood and use it for the spectacle.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be tough, bro.
It's tough. It's easy.
They definitely gotta look at that though.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. I can say everything that I'm saying. It sounds good. You can say stuff that you're saying too. It sounds good also, but it's all about actually doing. Getting, like I said, getting the city involved and whatever, and really. And just really try to not necessarily revitalize, but just give the neighborhood what they need, and then you can come in there and the neighborhood will co-sign it at that point, because at least they know that the NBA is not just coming when they feel like it. They're coming and they're gonna be there, like I mean, say like Riverside Park. Riverside Park is a New York staple. You know, like everybody knows about it. You know
Oh,
what I'm
hell
saying.
yeah.
So the NBA
Hell
needs to
yeah.
have their own Riverside Park. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, some kind of
Yeah.
community center, NBA community center or whatever, and then actually give back to the community. Talk about the different legends that showed up at the park, not just NBA legends, the New York City legends that showed up there every single summer during each era. Maybe open up a museum, Rucker Park Museum, or something like that, because it's not just Rucker Park too, because it's the Polo Grounds. They used to play what do you call baseball there.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of history in that neighborhood. So rather than come in and pillage when you feel like it, I feel like it just something needs to be permanently there. I think that would be great. I think it would be great.
So, shout outs to Nick Nation 112. I like that post. Baseball do that in DR and PR, but they don't do it in the hood. City kids do play baseball, and you're right, bro. Like you're right. So just not even just the Knicks and this field of dream games and whatnot. Football too. It's it's kids who watch football, right? And in Harlem or in the Bronx or in Queens. I don't know too many football teams like that, honestly. So it's a lot of sports that if they just brought it to the communities and to the neighborhoods, and I think they would have more of they would know what to do when it comes to trying to get people to invest in their product. Like I think if they was to put something in Rucker Park, the NBA, more people would invest. They would make even more money. Because imagine if Kemba Walker, for example, imagine Kemba Walker, and they say, "Oh, Kemba Walker's holding a clinic in Rucker Park, so and so day, free bags, free sneakers, free shoes." You know how long that line would be, dog?
Yeah.
The line would be longer than people waiting for Jordans, man.
Yeah, but it's needed. Those things are definitely needed.
Yeah.
Like people need to see these guys there. They need to be able to touch them, because back to the whole Africa thing. Like this they go to the Congo, all these wild places across the world, and they have actual NBA coaches showing up to these clinics in these weird off the wall places. But you can't go uptown. You know what I'm saying? Like Alonzo, all these guys that like, Dwayne Wade's from Chicago, they do their little things, but they could do so much. They could do something so much better than just showing up when they feel like it, type of thing.
Yeah.
I think Draymond Green said that once. He used to do like a clinic every year, and he'll show up and do the same thing. But then he stopped doing it because he realized that what he was doing was not actually giving back. It's just like, basically almost inconveniencing everybody just so the kids could take a picture, and then he just goes back to his life. He made the point that that's not enough. Something a lot more needs to be done.
Yeah.
Give like ex players jobs. That would be dope. Guys that are not doing nothing, and they love basketball, put them in these clinics, and give back to the community.
Yeah. Imagine if RJ Barrett held a clinic. I still don't understand why RJ hasn't touched Rucker. By the way, I don't understand.
Well, COVID, man. Last year there was no tournaments last year.
I'm so oh my god, I totally forgot about COVID, yo. I,
Yeah,
I,
man.
I heard COVID so much, like I heard that name so much, like it's blocked out of my mind. Oh man. So wait, we done with this subject? Because I want to ask you about this Trae Young stuff, man.
You're gonna talk about the wrestling?
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Bro.
I don't know, man. It's kind of similar to the Field of Dream stuff, man. It's like they come, it annoys me because they were in New York, right?
Yes, they was in Madison Square Garden.
It's a shame, man. I'm like embarrassed by that, But that's WWE shit, though. That's shit that they do.
Oh, damn. See, Josh, he came in late. Come on, Josh. You can't come in late. He said,
Josh always coming in late, man.
I'm late, but why do y'all think Dykeman has overtook the Rucker, as it said? No, I don't think Dykeman will ever overtake Rucker. Dykeman will never, because once Kobe Bryant touched that Rucker Park floor, it's over. It's over.
But Dykeman has the history too, man. Because we talking about Dominican power and all this other stuff. They really kind of like made that stuff go. Ron Artest used to show up every time. Khalid Reeves, I forgot the guy's name. I think it's Khalid Reeves.
Kadeem, yeah.
I can't think. There's a guy I'm thinking about. He used to play for Fat Joe all the time. They used to always show up there. So they have their own history there. You know what I'm saying? So, that's another thing too. This surpassing this surpassing that. Shout out to my hood, East New York. East New York actually has one of the biggest tournaments in the city too, Gershon Park. You know what I'm saying? So that park is actually getting pretty big too now. You can go show up there, and the court is amazing. The court looks better than any court that I see. It looks better than Dykeman. It looks better than whatever. And this is like Gershon Park, East New York, surrounded by projects, and whatever. So, it's not, I hate to do that, but compare different things and say one is bigger than the other. The city itself, New York City, it should just go back to the way it was. Like this tournaments. There used to be tournaments everywhere. I think it's changing too because there's another park. What do you call what is it?
What, Brooklyn?
Nah, yeah, it's in Brooklyn, but the court is a Space Jam court, but I can't think of the name of the tournament. But that tournament's starting to get a little steam too, so it's kind of getting back to the way it used to be, just like major tournaments popping all over the city. Because that's New York, that's the essence of New York. There's basketball courts all over the place. If you're driving around driving, you're gonna pass 1 million basketball courts in New York City. So, we just need to get back into that, just building up the basketball culture, because I feel like kids don't play ball like they used to. All the courts used to be full growing up,
Yo, I don't know if it's because of COVID and it made people just lazy, but yeah, you're right, bro. You're right. Not a lot of kids is playing basketball anymore. Well, when I walk past the courts, I really don't see them. And shout outs to Pudge, Nice, whatever. I totally forgot Allen Iverson went to the Rucker Park. Yeah, it's over, dog. It's over.
Yeah, Pudge Nice is saying a lot of cool shit in here. Everybody, shout out to the chat. Cully's here too. A bunch of guys here. But yeah, 2002, a lot of people left. Yeah, a lot of people left New York City. They left New York City chasing the dream. Thinking there's better stuff happening outside. They, not for nothing, there is though better facilities and stuff. If you go to Florida and these different places, they have major gymnasiums, and it's not for high school, it's not for college, it's just for straight basketball. Yep. They just have basketball facilities for just people to just go there and play. Like really good basketball courts, really good floors, really good rims, brand new bathrooms and stuff. And this is just for the community to use. Not you don't have to pay like a super amount of money either to go there. Like there's a spot in Philly that my sister just had a baby shower. Just some random spot, like make a right turn off of exit. Now all of a sudden there's this big ass community center. It was amazing. And it wasn't like you had to pay like $100 a month for the membership. It was like something like $20 a month. When you get Olympic style pools, and the facility is tremendous. The basketball courts was amazing, So that's what we need in New York. New York don't have that.
Nah,
New York don't have that.
Nah, all we got is rats,
fucking roaches,
and chopped cheeses.
We got K2.
Yo, that is on my mind. And you said New York kids don't play basketball no more. Yo, who was the last great? I'm talking about like from the 5 boroughs, great NBA player that had like you heard his buzz in high school, like he was playing ball in high school. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the last person that I heard, and I don't consider people if you're from New Jersey, I don't consider you from New York. I'm sorry, you just from New Jersey, right? So, Karl Anthony Towns played in Jersey. I don't think he don't give me a new. Well, his parents is from New York, but I don't consider him from New York. He's from New Jersey. Kyrie Irving, New Jersey. Like I'm talking about, like guy who played in the 5 boroughs: Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan. Lance Stevenson was the last one. That is pathetic.
Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. Yeah, but Lance Stevenson, he was like they called him born ready. Guys, I feel like Lance Stevenson was 6'5", 230 for like since he was like a junior high school. I feel like,
Bruh.
you know what I'm saying. But for real, outside of him, maybe what was the dude that had went to jail and all that. I don't know if he went to jail, but I mean he was Marbury's cousin. What was his name?
Oh God.
Sebastian Telfair. Yeah, Kemba. Yeah, it's a shame, man. It's a shame. Not for nothing. All these basketball players in New York, they go away to these sleepaway schools and whatever and yeah and what's the other one? The Hill, all these different places. Yeah, it's like people don't stay in New York and play anymore. Rice High School, all these different things. Even Malloy, this guy Cole Anthony. I guess you could say Cole Anthony. But Cole Anthony, for maybe like his first 3 years, he actually was destroying the Catholic League over here, right here in Archbishop Malloy. And then he decided to go to, what's the name of the school?
He went to Oak Hill.
Oak Hill Academy. Yeah, he went to Oak Hill Academy for more competition. Also, too, shout out to Moses. I keep forgetting the kid's name, but the kid's name is Moses. He got drafted by the OKC Thunder. Yeah, he actually went to school with Cole Anthony. So when Cole Anthony went to Oak Hill, he actually stayed here, and thing. So I mean, outside of those guys, those are the only guys that I can really think of, man.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. And I see a couple of names, man. Shout out to these names. See, Ron Artest. Diehard, I'm sorry for mentioning Ron Artest. Every time I mention Ron Artest, I think about when Vince Carter dunked over homie in the Olympics and how we drafted that same said dude and he never came to America. We drafted that dude over Ron Artest. So that's tough. Mark Jackson. So you got to go 30 years ago to find me a New York born and bred baller? Mo Bamba, I love Mo Bamba. He's from the project. He's from 115 Linux. But I'm talking about baller.
Mo Bamba's from Harlem, but did you hear it? I didn't hear about him until he got to the NBA and he said he's from Harlem.
He moved when he was like 11, 12 or something like that. He moved from the neighborhood and I think he was living in like PA or something. So he went to high school out there.
Well, his family did that because they thought it was a better opportunity for him to leave the mecca of basketball and go to somewhere else for them to a better opportunity. Which is, that just goes to what we're saying. Even with the whole Rucker Park thing, it's just like, New York is just a spectacle. People, you don't invest in New York City. And there was nowhere to invest. There's no facilities and stuff. So this is all like a big circle. It's a good conversation. I'm glad you brought all this stuff up because it's something that really needs to be done right now. Like I'll see more foreigners. Like when I say foreigners, I'm talking about like guys that are like really just popping up now. Like Chinese, the Chinese are popping up everywhere now, all over the city. The Indian culture out there, the Indian immigrants, they're coming here. I see them in the parks, fooling around, practicing, doing stuff, whatever. I don't see like native New Yorkers. I don't see them in the parks anymore. It's all people from, foreigners. They're the ones that are going to the parks.
So, I love the names that y'all throwing out, man. I definitely agree with you, Dar, when it comes to like you see more like foreigners in the parks. I think kids that's just from here, like we got technology. These kids rather be in the house, Dar. When I was growing up, my mother had to force me to stay in the house because I always wanted to go outside. And then when I was in the house, she had to force me to get off the game or force me to stop watching cartoons. So my generation is kind of different from these guys. And Melo's son is going to Christ the King now. So salute to Melo's son. I love Carmelo Anthony, man. Salute to the Knicks legend, man. I hope he get a ring this year. Felipe Lopez.
Felipe Lopez was people don't understand it because they weren't there and there was no internet and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, imagine that all the buzz that's surrounded by Felipe Lopez. People were talking about him before he even came to the States. They were talking about, there's this kid in DR that's nice. This is just word of mouth. No internet, no video,
Yeah. Felipe, it's funny because they said Felipe was damn near up there with Jordan. So, and Felipe graced Dykeman and Rucker Park too. They were saying, "Yo, he's next up. He's this. He's that," and it goes to show you that people can be nice when it's like high school and stuff, and you going to the parks and all of that. But it takes work ethic to get to the NBA because Kemba Walker, Rice High School. I remember I always used to walk past Rice High School. Me and Kemba walk around the same age. Rice High School was still open, right on 124th and Lenox. And I used to go to Wiley Secondary, and that's on 114th and 8th. So I used to go to Rice High School games. We used to watch Kemba Walker. And, people used to whisper like, yo, he going to the league. But I always used to watch how he worked and how he worked with his teammates. Dude is a worker, man. He's a hard worker. I don't think Felipe was like, I don't think he was like that motivated to be great in the NBA. He could have been great though. Shout outs to Felipe back in DR doing great things in the community. Shout outs to Felipe, man. He was definitely one of the true pioneers for hood basketball, man. I definitely know about Felipe, man.
Yeah, he put a whole country on his back too. Just DR, like they were like Dominican immigrants coming in at the time. Especially in Dykeman. Dykeman, is just known to be Dominicanville right now. But in the early '80s and especially the '70s and stuff, there weren't no Dominicans though. There was just all black over there. And they started to integrate and throughout the years that changed and stuff. But Felipe Lopez is all a part of that whole story too. And then the thing with Felipe Lopez too, I think that the hype was so crazy with him that he just couldn't get better. Like there was no way for him to get better. Like he would have to mentally take himself to another stratosphere. If he was already there, he would have to take himself to another stratosphere with all the pressure and the spotlight on his back for him to actually make that next level. Because right as soon as he got to the NBA, I think it might have lasted maybe 2 years and he was gone. He didn't really have much of a career.
And shout outs to Allah Wise, beautifully said. Like Felipe had a lot of mental pressures, and you gotta think about it like this. Like, imagine you like you're labeled God in the hood, like you're labeled the GOAT, you're labeled the Dominican Michael Jordan, and you gotta go to the NBA. You're coming from the hood now. You got so many people asking you for money. You got people asking you for favors. You got people saying you this, saying you that, saying you this, saying you that. So mental health is huge. Mental health is huge. Matter of fact, my coworker, shout outs to my guy. So he works downstairs. He does the trash or whatever. And we was talking earlier. He was talking about mental, and he brought up Alfred Payton, and he brought up how like he was at a lot of the games. He was talking about like how Alfred Payton, you could see it in his face that he was stressed out, and it wasn't because he was working his ass off. He was trying to play hard. He was trying his best, but you could just see it in his face. The mental pressure, it was getting to him, and he just folded. So if his career never get back on track. And you never see him become a rotational player again, that the stint with the Knicks broke him. And me as a fan, like I'm sorry for getting on him like that because it kind of made me feel bad. It kind of made me feel bad ragging on Randall last season in his performance. So man, shout outs to Felipe Lopez. And yes, brother, I'm from Uptown, bro. I know who Felipe is, bro.
But it comes down to like mental makeup too. That mental health is very important. But like Julius Randle, that when everybody was destroying him, we were destroying him. Big time.
Yes.
Everybody. He used that as a springboard to catapult himself to where he is now. So now, I mean, like when he's like all the trainers that he trains with, they're saying that he's incredible. He's in like mid season, shape at the moment. Right now. So. He's really like let that pressure get to him to where he wants to be great now. So that's amazing. But like a guy like Alfred Payton, I guess like his temperament is angry. He has like kind of like a quiet, angry temperament. Like you don't want to cross Alfred Payton. He might stab you or something like that. He's like but he internalizes it. So that all that stuff festers. So it comes down to personality and stuff. But you saw his mixtape that somebody made for him. He's like shooting threes, step back, pull up threes, and all kind of stuff.
Yo, I gotta say this, and then we gotta move off the Alfred Payton subject. I will never forget when Alfred Payton shot a step back three, and it was an air ball, and I think it went wide left. I turned the game off after that, dog. I can't do no more, yo. I can't take it no more, man. Oh man, damn, OG, how old are some of you guys, man? Lenny C was the first LeBron.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, I got a old fan base, man.
What the hell for Lenny Cook? Yo, you gotta tell me who Lenny Cook is, bro.
Yo, you don't know who Lenny Cook is, man?
Hell no.
Well, if you know LeBron James, you gotta talk about Lenny Cook. It was basically three players. It was Carmelo Anthony, LeBron, and Lenny Cook. You know, during that era. You know, so at one point, Lenny Cook was actually the highest rated high school player in the nation, over LeBron James. So they had that famous game where LeBron's team faced Lenny Cook's team, and LeBron James destroyed him on national television. So that began a spiral. So it also comes to mental health too, because I don't want to talk badly about the dude, but if you hear Lenny Cook speak now, like you totally understand why his career failed. You know, just listening to what he speaks, because he still talks like he might not be totally all there kind of thing. You know, like it might be like a little touched. You know, so like when you're on that Felipe Lopez, high thing, because he was basically on the same thing like Felipe Lopez at the time. But just that mental makeup. If you have all the wrong people around you, telling you stuff, gassing you up, you're not you're not training like you should, like you're in the clubs where you shouldn't be, like 16 in clubs and driving around and all kind of expensive stuff. You got the jewelry and things like that. All that stuff can go to your head to the point where you forget about what's going on. And he never, when LeBron was taking that step, getting better and better and better and better. Lenny Cook was just staying still, if not getting worse because of all this partying and stuff that he was doing.
Man, yeah, mental health in basketball is for real. Like, so for example, when I first went upstate to college, like I was 17, going on 18. And then my dad sent me straight to SUNY Diehard. Like he didn't even give me a chance to like be a kid and be the normal 18-year-old who just graduated high school. He said, "No, you're going upstate to college." Bro, that first like 2 months there, bro, I was depressed because I'm not used to when you get up. Like I'm used to like getting up. All right, I'm gonna go see my friends. I'm getting up. I don't know nobody in this world. I don't know nobody. But I always been a people person. So I started talking to everybody, but got to be mentally strong because I know I've had classmates, I've had people that I've known, I had peers. Matter of fact, I had a semester where the guy didn't even show up. So I had a free double room. I had a double room just to myself. And he didn't show up because the pressure of college, the pressure of being away from his home, pressure of being away from family. And another example is so I did, I always look at basketball documentaries. And you ever watch Hoop Dreams?
Hoop Dreams was excellent. It was excellent, yeah.
Beautifully made. So anybody who's never seen Hoop Dreams, you gotta go watch Hoop Dreams tonight. One of the best basketball movies like I've ever seen, and it's authentic because it shows you how difficult it is to like just to get to the league.
Yeah, it's not that easy. All those guys there were it was two guys, right? Two kids. They were on it.
It was the dude with the daughter. I think he had a daughter, and it was the other dude, and it was the other black dude.
Yeah, but like the talent level for both of those guys, they both could have made it to the NBA. They were good, But it just shows how hard it could be. It's like because life happens. Life just comes at you, bro. You don't know like as you living it, you don't know what's gonna come your way. Certain things like that. Like, dude, that dude had a freaking full blown kid in high school. So that's an added pressure there. Because I mean, you have to be there for your kid, and your kid needs things, and you have to make decisions. Do I do this? Waste all these hours or travel here to go? Because all that stuff was happening in hoop dreams. He had to make decisions on what to do for basketball or what to do for his kid.
Facts.
Yeah.
And the other dude, real quick, his pops, remember, his pops had an addiction.
Yes.
So he was there, and his pops was physically abusing his mother. So he was dealing with that. And mind you, he's a young black kid. These kids is like 15, 16. You seeing your dad, and domestic violence was something that, listen, man, let's be real. Like brown, black, Hispanic, that was really evident like in the 80s and the 90s. Like that was a lot of their culture. Let's be real. Like a lot of those women went through that. It's not really now, it's like a little less because it's cameras and females is smarter, and they're not gonna just let no man just say whatever, say anything to them. But as a 16-year-old, you trying to make it to the league, your father hitting on your mother, your father doing drugs, but your father still training you to do basketball. Man, that movie was so good, bro. It was so good. It shows you how much like mentally you got to be there in order to succeed.
Yeah, they still found success outside of basketball too. Like years later, like if you look at what happened to them, both guys ended up going to college through basketball, and they were able to persevere and do something else other than basketball. So that's key also too, man. Because everyone's always like fixated on just going to the NBA or going pro and making this millions of dollars, but another path too, just on playing sports, learning, like same thing with college, learning just new people, new experiences and stuff like that. It could, like the game of basketball could take you places, man. If only you give it a chance, and just see where it could take you.
Yep. He said why college was great, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to get back to that. You can talk about it.
So college was great. It's a great experience. But when you're 17 and you're getting sent off and you're so used to like being with your family and so used to being with your cousins, like that, it's a culture shock when you're first there. I'm the only person from Harlem and SUNY Diehard, probably like me and like two other dudes, basically like 85% of the school is white, so it's like, and mind you, I watch anime, I play wild games, I play Final Fantasy, I play wild ridiculous nonsense. Like I'm a nerd at heart as well, so it wasn't really hard for me, but just mentally, like I had to put my brain in SUNY Diehard along with my body. Like mentally, I was still in New York. Right. So it was difficult for me to like, all right, man, I'm here. Let me just deal with this and get it over with. Cause imagine you being away from your kids, your family for like 3 straight months. You're probably.
I'll be a happy motherfucker. like don't threaten me with a good time, man. You threaten me with a good time there, But I get it though. Like this, like going back to 17 years old. If I was 17 years old because I didn't go away to college, you know what I'm saying. So, but if I went to SUNY Delphi or whatever, I would be depressed because I can't find beaties. At the time I was smoking beaties. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, they got beaties? You know what I'm saying? Or like a Black and Mild. They don't got Black and Miles. That type of thing. That's something that's so small. That people don't think about. That stuff could really destroy somebody. It's like little things that you're used to culture-wise, things that are part of your little bubble. When you go outside of your bubble, that could really mess somebody up. Like you equated like the anime and all this other stuff to being a nerd, but to some people that's just regular. That's regular stuff.
Yeah, it's not regular stuff. Yep.
You get what I'm saying? But like in the New York culture, like being in New York, if they find out that you like anime, they'd be like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Like that type of pressure, so it's all about finding yourself, like what he said, independence and stuff. It's all about finding yourself and being okay and learning that there's just a bigger world out there, for you to experience.
So another example, right? It's all about finding yourself. I just told you that I watch anime, right? I had a girl come see me, right? And I was watching anime. I don't talk to this girl no more because I got my wife now, right? But I was talking to this girl. So I'm watching anime, Diehard, I'm watching anime. I'm not bothering nobody. And it's in Japanese, so you gotta read the subtitles. So I'm watching it. She like, you lame. You watching this? And in my head, I'm like, I'm about to kick you out. But the girl that I talk to now, right, loves cartoons, bro. It's all about who you talk to. She does not mind me watching cartoons. Matter of fact, she actually wants me to watch anime and wants me to do the podcast and wants me to do this, that, and the third because she always want to see me happy. She see when I do the podcast, like I'm happy and I'm watching it. Well, not when I'm watching the Knicks while it was being coached by Fizdale. Oh boy. but it's all about preference and differences and just mental. Like, you imagine my mental when she said that. Oh, that's lame. You watching the anime, and I'm thinking in my head, motherfucker, how the fuck? Like, how you judging me like that? Come on.
Yeah, that will fuck up your whole thing. Like then you trying to get like intimate with her, and you be thinking about like, yo, she thinks I'm lame because whatever. Now you can't get it up now because she's talking about that. You know what I'm saying? It can mess with you like that. You know, I tell you, like, somebody said hood politics. This is Pudge here. Pudge is on a roll here. Hood politics. Here's something that my sister's boyfriend, hood dude. He went to jail for like 5 years, or whatever. He came back, and then he ended up, getting himself together. But he lost a big part of his life, due to the streets and stuff like that. So he's like learning, trying to get himself back, into society, I guess. But he meets my sister. And certain things like direct deposit was like triggering to him. A lot of different things. When he met me, I had dreads. So seeing like a Puerto Rican dude with dreads, it just blew his mind. Like, why do you have dreads? Because he never met anybody like that. And also too, the vegetarianism. Like he feel like, oh, I'm a man, I gotta have a steak, but you don't eat steak, and you're a man. So that type of thing kind of like blows your mind. But it really all comes down to like experiences and things of that nature. So this something else too I wanted to bring up too. Cully and Ala Wise, that these guys were actually talking about like like just doing your research and about New York and all this other stuff. It's like doing you have to be able to you have to know your history. Yeah, you have to know where you're where you're from. You got to know the history of your area, why things are the way that they are. Because if you don't know your history, how could you go into like a SUNY Delphi or whatever and be there and actually represent maybe, or as a human being, showing people what it is to be in New York. How could you go there and do that and find yourself in that way if you don't even know nothing about where you came from? You don't even know nothing about it. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like, just the history of certain things.
It's always about studying. And Pudge, nice. It's funny that you said that. That stereotype it's crazy because I agree, but I kind of disagree, but I kind of agree because, a person could look at me and say, oh, because you're black, why the hell you're watching anime? And that's understandable. That's very understandable. So I kind of agree with what you're saying, but it goes back to like mental health. And, I just told you, I just gave you that story. So obviously that means I still think about that in the back of my mind, across the back of my mind once in a while. So you can only imagine how a guy like Alfred Payton felt when he's going on his phone and he's seeing, yo, it's to hear this guy go, man. This State of the New York Knicks podcast guy, man. Once again, man, he don't fucking quit, man. Yo, that takes a toll on you, really, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I couldn't imagine being in like that, because I mean, even me, like somebody might say something in the chat, like in the Evergreen, the last podcast I did with Evergreen, somebody said something in the chat and I freaking lost it. So I do that sometimes. Somebody says something and it just triggers me, because it might be something that just been bothering me forever. Like you said with the whole anime thing, it might just something that just like it's like trauma, little trauma things in your head that always sticks with you. I can't even imagine like being on that scale where millions of people are watching you. There's so much pressure in that way where you have to like be able to perform in front of these people that hate you like that, or they're just talking so much crap about you. I can't even imagine going through that.
Yo, this is why I always say to you, I always say to Knicks fans on Twitter, and I always say to people in the chat, we are blessed with this current roster we have. And thank God Julius Randle is a leader. Thank God he's one of the leaders on the team. Because that man, he's always in the gym. And when a guy who is your best player, when he's always in the gym, people tend to follow. So I'm pretty sure RJ's always in the gym. Quickly's always in the gym. Obi's always in the gym. Like, it's a culture thing. I'm pretty sure Kimba's always in the gym. Taj is always in the gym. Taj is one of the oldest goddamn players on the team. You got Mitchell Robinson having a video today showing Taj Rolls Royce, I think. So it's nice that we have players who are mentally tough. The problem that I have with the Knicks the past 20 years is even with our best player on the team, we never had a team that was mentally tough. It was only one team, I believe we had, and it was that 2012, 2013 team with Jason Kidd and those boys. And the only reason we was mentally tough because we had a bunch of vet dogs on that team. The team just broke down. But that was like the first team where it was like, yo, man, all of these dudes, I'm confident in these dudes. This year's Knicks team, a lot of them wasn't mentally tough, man. Because this is how I could tell. Dog, the first 63 games, they was shooting lights out, dog. There was 2K fans in the stands. You see Randall, he stepping back, he killing people, he jump shot, he killing 44, triple double. Fans come in the stands. Some of these dudes forget how to shoot. What's going on here? I know what's going on here. Now, anybody who's played in front of a crowd, matter of fact, example, when I was 10, my uncle put me in Gauchos, dog. Now, this is the first time I ever played in front of people. Dog, you know how scared I was?
I believe it.
Just to be perfect. It's not even about playing the game. It's to be perfect.
Well, explain Gauchos, though. You got to explain for anybody that might not be from the New York market that's listening, that's not in the chat. You got to explain what Gauchos is, because I mentioned Riverside Church, but Gauchos is the other one. Two big powerhouses. Explain what Gauchos is all about.
So Gauchos is it's a gym, and it's on 149th and 3rd in the Bronx. Like, it's in that area. Like, you go in the middle of the block no, it's not on 149. Is it on 149 and 3rd? No, it's on the Grand Concourse. Excuse me, right off the bridge. Now, Gauchos is like a gym.
Basically the same area, though.
Yeah, still the same area. Now, if you type in YouTube, you type in Lamar Odom in the Gauchos, you're going to see Lamar Odom in the Gauchos, playing in the Gauchos, doing the high step when you put it between the dude legs and laid the ball up. Like, the Gauchos is a legendary place. Matter of fact, Kemba Walker played in the Gauchos.
Yo, Rod Strickland played there. A bunch of different players played there. What's the guy that passed away? That played for Timberwolves. All those legends that came out of New York during that time, they all played there.
Yeah.
So it was a real big powerhouse, for basketball and stuff.
Yeah, Gauchos was the place where everybody used to go. And Gauchos, growing up, it was a place where they used to have open gym, and the open gym is stopped because sadly in 2008 there was a shooting inside Gauchos, so they stopped the open gym altogether. So, goddamn neighborhood. Now you can see why the NBA don't go into these neighborhoods in Harlem or in the Bronx or in Queens and try to do these little basketball camps that you're talking about, because they're gonna shoot the shit up.
Because truthfully, there's is they go to these other states and they move their whole families and all that stuff just for the opportunity. Like I was saying with the facilities, the Gauchos was the only facility, but look where it is. It's in freaking South Bronx. In the middle of the South Bronx. Of course, eventually something like that is going to happen because that's the only place to go. Outside of that, Riverside Church is, where's that? On the Upper West Side over there?
Riverside Park is on 145th and what's that? Amsterdam, Broadway?
Yeah, Amsterdam. What's that?
One of
Grant's
those.
Tomb. Yeah, down over there by Grant's Tomb, it's the West End. But if you know the area, once you get over there, you kind of like in the same thing. Because I believe they had a similar incident, not a shooting, but they had a similar incident where it was like a bunch of craziness happening. But that's gonna happen because everybody's going there. It's attracting a lot of people there. There's nowhere else to go. And that's a shame. That's a shame with New York, and I feel like that should have been changed years ago. Everybody, even shout out to Diallo, Hammy Diallo. He has this little tournament here in Queens, nearby. Sometimes I see him there, but like I said, when he comes and he goes. All these players, they come and go. Shout out to Lost Battalion. Lost Battalion is right there on Queens Boulevard. I pass it damn near every day of my life. I pass a Lost Battalion. Lost Battalion used to be one of the greatest basketball gyms in the city too, but for some reason, it just changed. I think after Kenny Anderson came up through the area, with left rack and stuff right in the background. I think after him, it just went down. Because like I'm trying to say, that's where everybody went. Everybody went there. So, it just attracts the talent, but it also attracts everything else associated with it too. The bad stuff.
Yeah, that's true, man. Another example. Yo, I remember it was a basketball game in Mount Morris Park on 123rd and 5th Avenue.
Yeah.
Y'all lie to you not, dog. So the guys at the free throw line, and my man, I think I said this on another pod, yo. The guys at the 3-point line, and my man say, yo, you soft, words exchange. He said, well, slap me then. And my mans literally went to the middle of the court, slapped them. Dude runs off. They start shooting at us. Bullet hits the tree. This is in Mount Morris Park. So imagine people scattering. Bullet hit the tree. I never forget my bro. He was my bro Sandwich. I call him Sandwich because he talked too damn much. So my bro Sandwich, he right next to me. So he right next to me. So Sandwich like, yo, was that a bullet? So I look at it. I'm like, yes, dummy. Now let's keep running. So now we look down. He like, but I lost my sneaker. I'm like, man, if you don't get the running, yo, he stops us like we in mid run, bro. He stopped us like, yo, did a bullet hit the tree? I'm like, come on. But that's like examples like that is the reason why the NBA wouldn't do something like that. They should.
They should, because it would prevent stuff like that. Yo, I love growing up in the hood, man. You got a friend named Sandwich. Yo, what's the reason again? Because he talked too much? Explain that shit. He talks that you call him Sandwich.
Oh, shout outs to my guy Big B, man. So one day we all sitting in the crib. We all sitting in the crib. So we used to call it the trap because it was a crib that my man's had. He was moving out, but they didn't send an eviction notice yet. So it was just the crib. So we chilling in the crib. And then my bro, who we call Sandwich, so he come out of nowhere like, hey, y'all wish I was a wizard. Mind you, we smoking weed. We all smoking weed. So we look at him. We like, yo, where the fuck you come up with this shit? So right after he says that, he takes a hit. And then he like, yo, Vess, yo, when that new Pokemon game coming out? I said, yo, bro, you gotta stop. So now him and my man Big B is like, hey, yo, you talk too damn much. You always flapping your letters. Matter of fact, we calling you Sandwich from now on. And ever since then, we've been calling him Sandwich.
Oh shit. Yo, that had to give birth from weed, man. Yo, like, oh my god, man, that is amazing. I love the hood, bro. Yo, I had a friend of mine that he came from Trinidad, right? So when he first came from Trinidad, they didn't have nothing. They were poor as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So he used to be outside, and he couldn't play with us because he didn't have no sneakers, no shoes, or nothing. So he used to be out there because we had a court on the block. So we finally got him to come out, and he was out there playing in slippers. You know what I'm saying? So we couldn't really we didn't know his name, so we just called him Slip. Yeah, we call him Slip to this day. The motherfucker's like 40 years old now. We still call him Slip to this day, all because of that, you know. So,
Oh man,
growing up in the hood is the best shit, man.
and he be mad too. I'll be on the phone with Shorty. I'm like, man, Sandwich talking to me, man. Let me call you right back. And she'll ask me like, yo, who's Sandwich? And he'll be in the background like, yo, bro, stop telling people you call me Sandwich, bro. And I look that at him, brother. I'm calling you this until I'm in the casket.
Right up.
I'm gonna have your damn kids calling you Sandwich when I'm through with it.
Yeah, that's a dynamic too. The growing up in New York and stuff, you're never gonna get that type of interaction or that type of growth just growing up anywhere else. Other places have it, but I feel like New York is just different, man. Just the way our experiences. Because I mean, the experiences with the shooting, I got the same freaking story, man. The best park in my neighborhood was Cypress Projects Park. But that's Cypress Projects in the freaking 90s, man. So that was like the worst place. You wouldn't want to be there at all. They had a baseball field. They used to actually play baseball tournaments in there too. But in that park was the worst. So I got a shooting story too. One of my guys from the neighborhood, whatever, he was busting this dude's ass. He wasn't talking shit or nothing, but he just that nice that it was making him look like he was just doing him dirty. But he wasn't doing it maliciously. He was just that nice. So anyway, he was getting mad, and the guys like, yo, man, just switch off him, man. Go. Guard somebody else, whatever. He said, nah, man. He said, man, fuck that, whatever. So he was taking it personal. So, he got smacked a couple times, and then he wanted to run it back. So he got embarrassed for maybe 2 or 3 games. So then, people kind of was like, whatever. They was kind of like laughing a little bit, but not necessarily at him, but he took it personal. So he said, all right, bet. Like that. So he walks off. So he said, all right, bet. I looked at everybody. I'm like, yo, fam, we out of here. And they always like, yo, come on, E, man, you a fucking pussy. Hey, that's the thing. You a fucking pussy, whatever. So now, listen, man, my man just whatever he said, I bet that he walks off. So I'm out of here. So it's like, man, all right, come on, let's get out of here, man. So they all snapping on me. You know how it is, man. Before we can get up the block, we on Blake. We walking up Blake in the middle of Blake, walking away from Cypress Project. As soon as we get across the street, all you hear is boom, 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 boom. We don't turn around, we running, right? So later on, we find out that one of the kids that we were playing with got shot in the leg or whatever. So that's just a regular hood story there, man. But stuff when you say these type of stories, you understand why, people take their whole families out and go to like Orlando, that type of stuff.
Yo, what's that movie? All right, real quick before we get out of here, I'm starving. What is that movie with dude with Lil Homie was killing OG? They was playing I think they was playing a 3-on-3, and Lil Homie was killing him, laying the ball up, killing him, and then he gets after he laid the ball up the one last time, he just looks at him, he just walks off, get the gun, and start bucking at him. Was that fresh?
Yes.
That was fresh, right?
Yeah, Ala Wise just said that my story was the fresh story.
Oh, yep, that was fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that shows you right there that the stuff like that did happen.
Yo, oh man, that's a good movie, man. That is a great movie, man. But it's, like, to get back to the whole what the NBA can do to help the community, man. Like, I'm glad whoever listened to this podcast, man, I'm glad they got to listen to that part, because Ebro was right. And now, like, I wasn't even looking at it from that angle. Now I'm like, yo, they got a chance. They got a chance. Now the Field of Dreams, now baseball, they did it the right way. NBA got a chance to take it to a whole new level. Yeah. A whole new level. So we're gonna see. That's funny though. He said the fresh story, evil. you ain't see how your man looked when he walked off the court. Matter of fact, let me ask you. When he said, "I'll be back," that should have been a sign to all of you. Hey, yo,
nobody flinched when he said he said, "I'll be back." He just said, "I bet." That's all he said, and he walked away.
He said, "I bet," and walked away.
Yeah, he said, "I bet," like that, and he just walked away. So I'm like, yo, I'm out of here. Yo, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, because I mean, we already had like plenty of like bad situations in that park, so we knew not to be there. But yo, it's literally like the best basketball court in the whole neighborhood, especially back in those times, man. It was either that court or you would have to go to Plaza Park in East New York. But Plaza Park, somebody shot up the freaking backboard, so there was like titty, big, dents in the freaking
Oh
backboard, so you couldn't even
man.
play over there, man. So. The hood was crazy. We would have to like go really far just to get like a decent basketball court. So yeah, good stories,
Wow,
man.
man. I appreciate the chat, man. Y'all
Yeah,
having
man.
a good time, man.
Yeah, they
Um,
reminiscing and stuff, man.
yeah, we brought we I'm glad the combo today brought y'all back, man.
Yeah.
I like to hear the OGs talk. They talk about parks closing down and hood classes. Go watch Hoop Dreams. Whoever's in this chat and you never seen Hoop Dreams, go watch Hoop Dreams. One of the best
That's a
basketball
must right
movies.
there.
Huh?
That's a must right there.
Yeah. Must see TV. Hoop Dreams.
You ever seen Soul in the Hole?
Yes. Oh, you talking about the dude when he made fun of the Knicks?
Yeah, my man, what's the name? Booger Smith. That tournament was a real tournament, man. I remember as a kid going to them shits, man. They were like super hood tournaments, but the games there was crazy. Like Booger Smith was like the best basketball player at the time that I've ever seen, up close. He was that freaking nice. He was like Magic Johnson, that I ever seen up close as a youngster, man. So he's another one. He's like Lenny Cook too. There's like something wrong with him a little bit because he's like so nicer than whatever. But he chose to be in the hood, which is weird. So everything that happened in that documentary for Soul in the Hole, well, following his life, that really did happen. He just would rather be in the hood than chase his dream. Because I'm telling you, he was probably like the best point guard I've ever seen up close, man. He was like Magic Johnson. He was, how Magic Johnson come down the court and do like this and all this other stuff. Yeah. Yeah, he freaking the heazies in between the lay heazies behind the back spin moves and dime passes like that. Yo, Booger was nice, man. He was he was the nicest bat. I'm telling you, people talk about Skip to my Lou, Ross Strickland too, and Kenny Anderson, all these guys. But when you talk about just pure basketball, just out there playing, Booger Smith was the best point guard I've ever seen, man. Best point guard I've ever seen up close.
I'm gonna watch that documentary tonight. When you said Soul Hall, I thought you was talking about the cartoon. No, you talking about the actual documentary. And they definitely got it on YouTube, so I definitely will be watching that tonight.
Yeah, Soul in the Hole, man. That was a real shit, man. Yeah. Pink houses, family. That's my family's from pink houses too, man.
Pink houses. That's the projects where it got two big roads next to it. You got to walk across those roads. It's like a big crossway.
Well, Linden Boulevard. Linden Boulevard is like super huge.
You got to walk through Linden Boulevard, and like Pink House has got like this big just open space, and then you got the it's a store across the street, and then it's projects.
Well, I mean, I can't really describe it, man. I'll describe it my own kind of way, but it has like a movie theater on one side. It used to be like a shopping center there called TSS, and then that shit changed so much throughout the years. And then now it's a movie theater, and on the other side is a big post office and a bunch of other stuff too. The neighborhood changed a lot, but for pink houses, I think it was The Game. The Game had did like a recent movie where he was like in New York and they were like in the projects, whatever in New York. That was Pink Houses that he was in. Yeah.
Next pod, I got a story about Pink Houses.
You got a story about Pink Houses?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I want to hear the story about Pink Houses. What you got?
So real quick, I went to go see some girl, right?
That was your first mistake. Go ahead.
Right. No, but I trusted her though. We was cool. I ain't think nothing of it. Like I'm 18 years old. Like I ain't give a damn.
I got that story, man. Go ahead.
She like, yo, take the A train to Lucid Avenue. It was something crazy, bro. Like something crazy. So, I get off the train. So I put it in, I put an address in my little phone. So I'm walking, and I just described to you the boulevard. I just described you that big boulevard, and I walked all the way across. So I'm walking through. It's the projects. It's like this open area, and it's a grocery store right there. So I'm walking. I call her, and I'm like, "Yo, can you come downstairs? You come get me?" So she comes downstairs. Mind you, I'm walking to the store. So it's like 5 dudes in front of the store. So I'm walking to the store. So she calls me. She like, oh, you going to the store? All right, wait for me real quick. So now she comes, she meets up with me. So I asked her, I'm like, yo, where the hell are we? She like, oh, the Pink House is. In the back of my head, I'm like, yo, ain't this the place my man say one of the most dangerous hoods in Brooklyn? Yo, what the fuck she got me over here for? So before I can even get in the store, the dudes in front of the store like, hey, yo, where you from, fam?
they saw you a mile away, bro. That's what I'm like. Yeah, I'm glad that you were there. I'm glad you just here alive to tell a story. But go ahead.
They like, yo, where you from, fam? Y'all from Harlem, bro. So they look at me, yo, you from Harlem? Oh, yo, They start talking that Dipset garbage. But at the end of the day, if I would have said I was from Brooklyn, I would have definitely got robbed. For sure.
Yeah, if you lied and say you're from Brooklyn, you would have been making it right now. You'd definitely be in a different place in life right now.
There would be no state of the New York Knicks podcast right now. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm out of here, man. Diehard, man. This was going, man. I appreciate the chat, man. Y'all, the guys in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all, without y'all, yeah, I don't know, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. Diehard, I appreciate you. Y'all know where to find this podcast. Y'all know where to find my podcast. Click thumbs up. Click the like button. Subscribe to Diehard. Subscribe to Diehard Knicks. Subscribe to State of New York Knicks podcast. This was another Diehard State of Mind podcast, and I'm out of here. My guy Eru, it's your boy State.
Peace, my brother. Peace.
Yo, we gotta keep doing these stories too. That was fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, we talk about Knicks so much that we forget about the real life stuff, man. So that's all a part of the whole story, the whole part of the Knicks experience, man. So we definitely gotta do more stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Yo, man. Salute to all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. Yo, shout out to Cully too, man. Before we leave, I saw that you say you want to open up the chat. I'm all for it, man. But like I said, I don't want to get crazy where it's like 20 million people up in the panel. I don't mind like talking to whoever, but when you got too many people on there, I think it kind of like clouds the conversation. That's just from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? So. You're welcome to come on the show, man. So, we just gotta connect offline, man. So, without further ado, man, just let me let you guys go. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm gonna try to do something every day, man. Check out for tomorrow, Sunday. Sometime during the day, I'm gonna do something. In the evening, and there's a fantasy league that I'm doing again coming up. Shout out to opening day. A lot of stuff going on, guys, man. So keep tuned in to Diehard Knicks podcast, and look out for more content and stuff like that, man. So peace to the gods and the earths out there, man. Knicks fans, we out. Peace.